But I remember watching it before, but I didn't remember that it was, well, spoiler alert, that it was all like in her head.
Hey, no la he visto.
No la has visto? Fuck.
Are you serious?
I said spoiler alert. You should have stopped me.
No, I know. She even said it.
I said spoiler alert. Ni modo. I gave a trigger warning.
She gave you like 0.2 seconds to like prepare. For years. Hello, my name is Luna.
Hi, my name is Polly.
And this is
The Other Side.
This week we're I'm still like not This week we are talking about reincarnation.
Yeah.
What happens after you die? Will you come
Or
back?
before you come into this earth. This topic is very sensitive because I think it has to do with your beliefs, like your religious beliefs, I think. Not necessarily, but some religions don't believe in it at all, and some religions, like...
Which ones don't? Because I feel like almost all of them do.
I don't know.
Oh, I think Christianity, actually. I read something about how they said there's no talk of it in the Bible. Because, I mean, well, they believe in heaven or hell, right? Do they believe in purgatory?
I think, who? What?
Do Christians believe in purgatory? No, right? It's just heaven or hell.
I'm Catholic, so I don't know.
Well, you're same thing.
Not really. They're
you
very
believe in
different.
Christ?
Huh?
But you believe in Christ.
Sí.
Yeah, Christians. Christ.
Pero Catholics believe in saints and in the Virgin Mary. Or
Baptists don't. Yeah. But they call themselves Christians, but everyone's Christian. If you
it's
believe in Christ.
Christian Catholic. I'm Christian Catholic. But
yes,
it's if you're Christian, it's very different from Catholic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my mom.
Sí. Bueno,
against angels. Saints.
Sí, como anything that's not
false idols. Yeah, if it's just not God or Jesus.
But bueno, what were we talking about? Yeah, like there was, I don't remember which religion it was, but it said something about that reincarnation was taught for many, many years, and about like maybe 50 years ago they stopped talking about it because something happened, and then there was never a mention of it anymore. So it was like God changed his mind. Or something like that.
Whenever I think of
I don't remember which religion specifically it was, but
yeah, I read that it says that it even predates Buddhism, but I've always known that it's something with Hindus. They believe in it very deeply. But like if you consider like the lifestyle over there, like they have a caste system where like whatever you were born into, you're just gonna be that forever. There's just no moving up. There's no like, you
mentioned
American
something
dream.
About carrots.
Okay, hold on. We'll get to.
I don't want to laugh, but it just seems.
Well, it's because
I can't grasp
why did I use that
idea.
example? But yes, some people do believe that we may come back as vegetables, but some people also believe that we come back as animals. So different beliefs with different cultures.
Yeah, I thought that it was only like conscious beings. So an animal maybe, but not vegetables or plants maybe.
You see, that's funny. Okay, but wait, hold on. Before we get to it.
It sounds like the Pocahontas grandma. Like she's a tree. Her soul is a tree.
That's true. You see? Well, people actually do that. I mean, in Game of Thrones, didn't the tree have a face on it? I don't think they ever talked about it, though. Just some fucking random tree with a face, okay? And then he puts his same branches just staring. Okay.
But a carrot.
Yes. Not a carrot, but a vegetable. And I don't know if that's just a hoax. I would want to come back as taro.
I'm an onion.
Coconut. Literally. No, but we're saying, so like in Hinduism, like they believe in it very deeply because it's reincarnation. They believe in karma, dharma, Taoism. I'm not quite sure what all of those things mean, but I know that all those, words are in there. And like, that's why they hold it so deeply within themselves. It's like you need to live a good life for yourself so that you do not come back and be manifested into something like a dog. And I think they live their life like that.
But dogs can have good lives. Like your dog and
you see, yes. Yeah. But like it's just the way that other people see animals. Not everybody holds, Like here
it's the luck of the draw if you're gonna be in a good home or.
It says here, I think, like, the individualism, like, is what gives us, like, that idea that, like, this cat has autonomy, this dog has a personality, like, they're people just like us, but it's not like that everywhere around the world, right? But that was something that I always admired about them, is just, like, they live a good life. It's not so much to keep up, like, this, I don't know, facade for other people, like in some religions where like you need to show that you're a good person by doing certain things, going to certain places. Like in their religion, it's just about being a better person. But I think that's more so Buddhism. But yeah, like that's what I learned reincarnation from. But yeah, I remember hearing about that. They said like some people think you can come back as a vegetable, but it's like no, because the probability of like that is just so, I don't know.
Like I am very
no
open
sense.
to ideas and I don't discard possibilities, but also my mind cannot wrap itself around that idea. Like,
no, you know what? Let's talk about this. So why not a vegetable? A vegetable is
because it's not conscious and it's your soul.
Is it not? It comes from a plant.
What reincarnates is your soul.
Yes.
Right? So I don't.
No, your energy.
Well, I read that it was your soul. So, and if every time you come back to Earth, it's for a purpose, and your soul is always trying to either solve your karma from a past life and learn a lesson. So, as a vegetable, what kind of lesson could I learn? Or like, what is my contribution? I just don't see, if I'm thinking about it as in like, the whole idea of reincarnation is to contribute to the world or to find meaning or to clean my karma in some way or another.
Yeah.
How am I going to do that as a carrot?
Yes, but like if you're just seeing it from that way, then we can easily cancel out you coming back as an animal. But Native Americans and other indigenous groups
some
believe
animals,
that you can come back as an animal.
Like for example,
what contributions can they make though? Let's say they come back as a rabbit.
Well, you can be somebody's pet and like cure their anxiety.
Why do people have to be involved in order to give it some value of purpose? Like, I think...
Or maybe I saved another rabbit from a predator.
Does it always have to be epic? Like, you coming back? Because I actually thought reincarnation was a bad thing. You don't want to come back in another lifetime. Because it says
I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, because I always thought, like, if you lived a bad life, you will be reincarnated into something like a pig or something. That's why they're very adamant about living a good life, sort of in the same sense as like Christians want to be good to go to heaven. Yeah, but I think it's, I don't know. I feel like it's, God, wow, I'm actually going to say this. It's not that deep. I don't know. It's so weird. I feel like reincarnation doesn't always have to do with like purpose, but
some people don't even believe in reincarnation. Like, okay, so we're starting this podcast as like, let's put ourselves in the scenario that it's a real thing, right?
Yes. Why
does it happen? How? But some people don't even want to like get close to the idea of thinking that it may be a possibility. Some people think, or scientists that have tried to disprove people's experiences, because sometimes we're able to connect with our self-consciousness or our past consciousness, and we have these memories of a past life. So what people try to discard those experiences is by saying that they're just memories created by your brain. It's basically just your imagination, or the concept of having false memories.
Okay, so you're referring to the people who say like, I know I've been reincarnated because I remember these certain things happening.
And then somebody tries to disprove that and being like, you're just imagining stuff, or it's a false memory.
Maybe there's room for that, like with those people, but if you think about children who actually have very detailed memories of things, children who have not been exposed to certain like experiences in life, how on earth
and why would they lie? And also like,
exactly,
I don't know, it's just, there was talk about the veil of forgetfulness, because people were saying, well, if everybody's been, or everybody has had a past life, then how come you don't remember it? Or like, you can remember it by accessing it, like I said, your past consciousness through therapy and stuff, but most of us don't just remember stuff because we have a veil of forgetfulness that is there to add variety of experiences, and it allows us to try new things. Like, if we all knew what happened in our past life, maybe you wouldn't, I don't know, start a business, because in your past life you started a business and it failed. So now you don't want to do that again.
Because some people have feelings, really strong feelings, and they don't know where it comes from. But that's within
but
themselves.
you don't have the actual experience. Maybe you have
the consciousness of why you feel that way.
Yes, but not the actual experience. So it allows you to try new stuff every time that you're here on Earth. So
I think it's kind of silly though for somebody to say, like, if you don't, like, if we all had past lives, why can't remember it? But like, people can't even remember what they did like 2 weeks ago. Like, or they can't even remember what they dreamed about, because it's been said that like you will only remember your dreams if it was like a nightmare, because it just happened right before you woke up. But you won't have memory of something happening like throughout your sleep, or sleep paralysis. That's the word. I'm sorry, it's so random. I was trying to remember that word yesterday. I was like, what is the medical term for night terrors? Sleep paralysis. Yeah, but it's just like people just discard things so easily. It's like they shouldn't.
The veil of forgetfulness that I was talking about, just like you mentioned that sometimes kids can remember their past lives and talk about them like if it was nothing, is because when you are the veil of forgetfulness is different for everyone, and some are not as powerful as others. And also, when you're a child, I feel like you don't have all of these preconceived notions of life and how things are supposed to work and what to say, and so they're more open, their souls are more open to all these other possibilities.
That's why kids are rude. That's why they say morbid things and then do cartwheels. These fuckers.
They don't have a veil. They don't
have a filter.
They don't have a filter. There you go. I also read that your soul doesn't necessarily come back the same all the time, because there's basically two mechanisms that is you, which is your soul and your... Hold on, I wrote it down. There are two types of mechanisms that make us who we are, and one of them is your lower self, which is the person you are physically, your ego, your personality, and then there's your higher self, which is your actual soul. So every time that you reincarnate or you come back to Earth, you don't come back as the same person you were in your past life. You've never looked the same. You've never had the same personality, the same ego. Like, it's always gonna be different, which interesting.
This kind of goes back to like our first episode on twin flames, right? Yeah. And it says that,
I feel like okay, every time we go into a topic, I'm like, oh my god, this connects to this in some way or another. So it's all connected.
But also the thing with destiny, because like if we haven't like fulfilled that, maybe that's why we, reincarnate into another lifetime to fulfill that destiny. Because maybe it wasn't supposed to happen now during this time in this body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, every time you come back to Earth, every time your soul comes back to Earth or reincarnates, there is a lesson to be learned from that experience. And in some way or another, you are either trying to fix some karma that you've had in the past. Like, if you did something wrong in another past life, like, your lesson from this new life is to find or to undo that karma from your past life. So basically, as we live and make mistakes, we're eventually gonna have to fix it either in this lifetime or in the next. We're never gonna escape our karma.
Well, what do you think? What do you think would keep people more aligned to like their morals and values? Like telling them you better be good because you're gonna go to hell if you're not? Or would you rather tell them you better be good because in the next lifetime it's probably gonna be harder for you?
I think the concept of hell is scarier for
Because it's just, what's the
that's
word?
it. Like it's eternal.
The eternal.
Yeah, it's eternal, and like there's no escaping it. But
There's
if
like a chance.
but if there's in a next life, then you think, oh, okay, it's just gonna be like, I don't know, max 70 years, and then that's it. Like I can try again. So
fuck the next person.
or like if you're a carrot, maybe a week. So it's like not even bad.
No, carrots live longer than that, right?
I don't know.
How sad. We're just like fucking carrot's just a vegetable, but it's like a carrot comes from a plant that comes from the ground. Like we all come from something. Like maybe to us they mean nothing because we just buy them at H-E-B and chop them up, put them in a soup. But like they have purpose.
Damn, dude. And I'm a vegetarian. I eat a lot of vegetables now. I'm gonna feel
I
bad.
I've never said carrot. I should have just said coconut or something.
Coconut. Yeah, because I don't like coconut.
There's 2 people in this room that don't like coconut.
Yeah, it's just I don't. I mean, I'll eat it like in like as a topping or stuff, but it's first of all, I don't like the texture. But the fruit itself,
The milk. What about the flavor, like texture?
yeah, I guess I can deal with it, but it's not like I don't gravitate
so beautiful
towards it. It's
Truly
like,
mean that. It's so beautiful. Like, oh my god, there's nothing that tastes
so
more
you would
like,
want to be a coconut in your next life?
I am a coconut.
You're a coconut right now. What other thing I was gonna say? Your soul is living in multiple realities at the same time. So that's another thing that I was like, oh wow, because it said something about that. Not necessarily like my soul is gonna come back to Earth in this body, and that's it. As we talked about in other episodes, we believe in multiple universes,
yeah.
and in multiple timelines. So I may be existing, like my soul may be existing in another universe at the same time.
But isn't reincarnation always put like in the frame of like it's linear? Right?
Not from what
It's
I
one
read.
to
And
the
also
next, to
another
the
thing
next.
I read was that when you there's like a cycle of and we're not gonna go into that because first sorry I didn't write it down, but also it was too deep, so it was gonna be like a 3-hour
That's already
episode.
twice, guys. We've already said it's too deep. Sorry, this isn't gonna be.
So it was talking about that there's a cycle of reincarnation, and basically after the death stage you go into these, I don't know, let's call it oblivion. I don't know, not oblivion. There's this space or the other side where your soul is waiting to come back to Earth. But it's not like a thing where you're chosen to come back. It's your soul is gonna know when. And some people stay there. If you think about it in a linear time, they stay there for years. But in reality, like time doesn't exist over there. It's just like whenever you feel
It's a concept.
Yeah, whenever you feel like you need to come back to Earth, your soul is gonna choose a body, and then you come back to Earth.
Kind of like that movie Soul.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I feel like it
So
has
good.
something to do with reincarnation in some way.
Yeah, well, not reincarnation,
I
but
haven't seen
about
it.
coming back to life,
Mm-hmm.
even though it wasn't necessarily the same body you were in. I like that movie. It's so like deep, honestly.
I'll
like,
watch it.
And I think a lot of Pixar is kind of like that now. Because, I mean, we were talking about WALL-E and, like, that was pretty deep. That's pretty heavy stuff, like, for kids to watch. But I think it's just for, like, the broad audience, right? But, yeah, like, I like that idea of, like, you know, you need
In
to
the
be
surface, it's a cute story about two robots that fall in love. But like as a grown up, we can see all the like
the whole
pollution.
package, yeah.
I mean, we've all seen WALL-E, right?
Yeah,
So
the
we're all like, oh my
destruction
god.
of mankind. What happens when people, like, lose that sense of needing to survive?
Mm-hmm.
The chairs.
The chairs, yeah. The
Little plants in the boots.
how everyone relies on technology and follow trends. You know how they had a commercial where like, oh, blue is the new red, and then everybody's like, oh, wow, and they changed their outfits immediately from red to blue. So it's like
That is literally society right now.
literally. So it's like,
my gosh.
of course, it's an exaggeration, and like little kids, they just think it may be funny, but we're as adults, we're like, I
Shame.
did that when I
Shame.
bought that shirt that I saw on Instagram because this influencer was wearing it. Like literally, that's the concept
Like
of
everybody
it.
wearing Champion now, even though it was like poor clothes before.
Yeah, poor clothes.
It was
Or, like,
my clothes,
cheaper
guys.
stuff. Yeah.
It was Payless clothes, Payless shoes. Yeah.
That's all I have on reincarnation. I also have a test, or it was like 10 signs that if you think that you're an old soul, but we'll leave that for the audio only.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add before we go into audio only? Well, first of all, I do think I'm an old soul. Do you think you're an old soul?
I did think when I was younger, just because of how much like I felt like I resonated with like the 80s and the 90s, but I think it's just like, no, just being all, I don't know, romantic about everything.
You
yet
may
again.
be if you feel connected with the 10 signs of being an old soul.
It's because it's not so much like all those things. It's just like how I am. I think my patience and my compassion towards things makes me feel like I'm older than what I really am. But is that sad that I think, oh, look, she's being a basic human being. Like, she's definitely got to be an old soul. Like, she's different because people just aren't like that.
Well, first of all,
I used to think that made me different.
the
but I was like,
concept
that's
of
kinda
being an
sad.
old soul, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've been here, because every one of us that exists on earth has had a past life. I think all souls are just being recycled, but some of us have been here more than others, or have chosen to live longer than others. Like I said, when you go into the other side, your soul, sometimes they stay there for a long time. Sometimes they choose to come back right away. And another thing that I was, when I was reading about that, it said something like, if you're a light worker, your purpose in life is to come and help people. So you don't want to be on the other side for that long,
What are
because you
those?
feel the need to come back to earth and like fulfill your purpose right away. So every time you go through the death process again and then you go to the other side, you right away want to come back.
Light workers are those people that just tell you.
Light workers meaning like just people that want to be on earth to help others. That's it. Like
Philanthropists.
maybe like in the whatever concept you want to believe in, but basically just they want to help people.
Empaths.
Yeah, empaths and such. But yeah, so yeah, everybody has had a past life, but some of us have been here longer than others, have lived multiple hundreds of lives. So that's why you feel like you're an old soul, because you have all of this baggage of different experiences with you that you don't even know you have, but you just, I feel like I'm an old soul. And maybe like I said, it's just my ego thinking that I'm the fucking main character all the time. But I do feel like, and every time I was like reading through these like 10 signs you're an old soul, I was like, oh my God, why are you describing me right now?
But I don't know.
But let's
Sometimes
see.
when you do quizzes, I feel like they're just trying to market people to like believe those things.
Well,
Or
let's see.
target the-
Let's see. We're going to go into audio only, guys. Thank you so much for the people tuning in on our YouTube space. If you want to continue listening and find out if you're an old soul too, then go ahead and stream us, or we'll leave the links below on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Bye.
Ciao. Okay, so the 10 signs if you are an old soul. I'm gonna make questions and you tell me what you think about them.